Hey guys, in today's video I'll be showing you how I crocheted this Alpine stitch pocket scarf. This project does take a while to make depending on the time you have and the length of the scarf. It can take up to 2 to 3 days. Also, I will link down another video that helped me out when I was learning how to do the Alpine stitch, so I'll link that down below, and then if you're interested in making one of these scarves, go ahead and continue watching. In the next couple clips I'll let you know what you'll need. I'll be using the Caron's 1-pound yarn in the color Kelly Green, a crochet hook in the size 5mm, and scissors. To create my scarf, I'm going to start off by creating a slip knot. So I'm just going to take my yarn, and I personally just like to hold it like this, and then I'll twist it, and then with this side of the loop, I'll just grab the yarn and pull it straight through. So now I'll take my crochet hook, insert it into the loop, and just tighten it up. Then for round 1 or row 1, we're just going to chain 17. So a chain is yarning over your hook and then pulling straight through. So I'm going to make mine a chain of 17, but if you like your scarf a little bit wider, you can chain more. I do recommend that you chain an odd number. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll continue chaining. So remember, a chain is just yarning over and pulling straight through. And I'll come back once I have a chain of 17. Here is what my chain of 17 looks like. Now we're just going to single crochet all the way back to the other side. So for row 2, we're going to single crochet, but we're not going to single crochet into the stitch closest to the hook. You want to go into the one after that. So a single crochet is just going straight into the stitch. You want to pull this yarn through. You have 2 loops. Now you want to yarn over and pull through both of the loops. And you'll continue doing that until you reach the other side. So I'll show that one more time. Go into the stitch, pull this yarn through. You have 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So because you went into the second stitch away from the hook, that means you should end up with a total of 16 stitches for this row. I've completed row 2 and here's what it looks like. Now moving on to row 3, we're going to start working on a double crochet. So since it's a double crochet, you want to chain 2 at the end. So chaining is once again yarning over and pulling through. So that was 1 and 2. Now I'm going to turn my work, and then I'm going to start with my double crochet. Well, this whole row is going to be a double crochet, but before we get to that, you don't want to go into the stitch at that corner piece right there. You want to go into the next one. So to create a double crochet, I'm just going to yarn over my hook. I'm going straight into that stitch, and then I'm taking this yarn and pulling it straight through. So now that I have 3 loops, I'm going to yarn over and pull through only 2 of them. Now I want to yarn over again and pull through the next 2, and that was a double crochet. So I'm going to continue doing that until I reach the other side. Once I finish my row of double crochet, here's what it looks like. Now this is a count of 16 stitches. Remember how I told you to start off with an odd number? So this chain was a chain of 17, and we worked into that second stitch from the hook. So from now on, we should only have an even number of stitches. So if you started with a different odd number, you should now be working with an even number, and mine is going to be 16 from here on out. And this chain of 2 is counted as a stitch. So it might not look like it, but this is counted as my 16th stitch. So now we're going to move on to row 4. For row 4, we're just going to chain 1. We want to turn our work, and then we're going to start doing our single crochets. So every time you do a single crochet, you only want to chain 1, and once you do your double crochets, you're going to chain 2. Okay, now I just wanted to show you again, you don't want to work into your corner stitch, you want to go into the stitch after that, so which means it's this one for me, and I'm just going to do my single crochet. Now because I've shown you how to do a single crochet already, I'm just going to speed up this process, and I'll come back once I reach the other side. I currently have 15 single crochets in this row, but I just wanted to show you the end in case you're confused on the edging. So this is where I showed you earlier. I had the chain of 2. You're still going to single crochet into that. And then that is my row 4. So now moving on to row 5, we're going to chain 2 because we're going to work with a double crochet. Oopsies. Okay, now once you chain 2, you want to turn your work, and now we're going to work with the double crochet but into the post. So you can see this post here. We're going to go through that with our hook. So first I'm going to yarn over my hook and then go straight into this post. Now you want to yarn over your hook again and pull straight through. You don't want to work your stitch down here. You kind of want to pull it up a little bit, and then you have your double crochet up on the top. So you're going to continue with your double crochet by yarning over and pulling through the first 2 loops, yarn over again and pull through the next 2 loops. Okay, so now you're going to alternate. So I crocheted into the post. Now I'm going to go straight into the stitch. So I'm just going to do a normal double crochet. I yarned over my hook. I'm going into the stitch now, yarning over, pulling through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. So now that I did it straight into the stitch, I'm going to straight into the post now. So yarn over your hook, go into the post, straight through, yarn over, pull through, and remember to pull it up a little bit higher. Now you want to yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this out to show you what it currently looks like. So this is just the beginning of our alpine stitch, and now I'll continue doing that until I reach the end of this row. Okay, I just finished my double crochet row with the post, so now I'm going to move on to my next row, which is row 6. Every time you finish a double crochet row, you're always going to do a chain of 1 to do your single crochets. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and now I'm just going to continue single crocheting across until I reach the other side. Okay, now that I finished my single crochet row, I want to chain 2 because after every single crochet row, you're going to start a double crochet. So now you want to turn your work. Okay, on this side, you're going to do the same thing, but you don't want to work into your post when a post is already there. So what you're going to do this time is you're going to double crochet, but into the stitch at the top. So I'll yarn over my hook. I'm going through the stitch on the top, yarning over and pulling through the first 2 loops, yarn over again and pull through the next 2. Okay, so now there's no post here, well, at least the post that's risen, so you want to go behind and grab this one that's at the back. So I'm going to yarn over my hook and go behind that post to bring it forward, yarn over, pull through, and don't forget to bring it up a little bit, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over again and pull through the next 2. So let me just pull that out really quick so you can see. Okay, so you can kind of see that it's alternating. So this post here now has this post at the back, and then you want this post to come forward. Okay, so now you're just going to continue alternating that, and you want to double crochet into the stitch at the top. And now we want to go bring this post at the back, and you want to bring it forward. So I'm going to yarn over, bring it straight up, yarn over and pull through the first 2, yarn over again and pull through the next 2. So I'll continue doing that until I reach the other side. I'm back after finishing my second row of double crochet with the post, and here's what it looks like. So from here on out, I'm just going to be doing the exact same thing. Every time I reach this side, I'm just going to chain my 1 because I'll be turning my work, and you can see this is the flat side. So this is where I'll be doing my single crochets. Once I reach this side, I'll chain my 2 because I'll turn my work and I'll start working on my double crochets. So I wanted to explain this one more time. Every time you see a back post, that's when you want to double crochet through it and bring it forward. Every time you see a forward post, that's when you want to double crochet through the top stitch. So I'm just going to continue crocheting until I get my desired length. Remember, if you want to create the pockets, you want to make it longer and then you want to measure it to how long you want it to yourself. If you don't want any pockets, you can just go ahead and continue crocheting until you're done, and then we can sew up the sides. Alrighty guys, so I finally reached the length that I like, and this is what it looks like. I can't really open it to show you that much, but basically this measures up to about a little over 80 inches. Now, once you reach this part, we can just go ahead and cut our excess piece of yarn. So let me just show you. I really love this pattern, it's so pretty. Or this stitch, I mean. But now, at the end here, I just cut off my yarn, and this is what it looks like. So I just want to secure this end, and the way that I secure it, and if you see my other videos, you already know how I do this. I just take my loop and take this part of my yarn and insert it straight through, and then just pull it just like that. And that is how I'll close off this side. And now we can go ahead and create the pocket. Now that we have the length of our scarf, we can make our pockets. So with our pockets, you can see that this is the flat side. So I just want to fold it in half and determine the length of my scarf, or the length of the pocket. And you don't want it too long. Well, because my scarf is 80 inches, I can make my pockets longer, but honestly, you can't fit too much in here because you don't want it to weigh down your neck. So, you know, you most likely put like cards or a set of keys in here. And so this is where I'm currently at, but I just wanted to let you know that I'll be working with a slip stitch, but you can clean up the sides by doing a single crochet if you like. I'm just deciding to do a slip stitch. So I wanted to quickly show you my other scarf. Okay, so this is the one I practice on, and with this slip stitch, you can see this is the outer side. So this is where it would be showing when you wear a scarf, and then this is the inside where the pocket is. So when you do your slip stitch, you actually want to, you know, you create your pockets this way, but you want to turn your work and then you be slip stitching on this side because you want, you know, a nicer edge like this. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, you don't want to be slip stitching working this way. You want to turn it and work this way so you have a nice line at this outside. Okay, so now I have my pocket on this side, and then I'm going to turn it this way because, as I mentioned earlier, I want a nice seam. And then now I'm just going to attach some yarn so I can start slip stitching. So when I start slip stitching, I actually want to just insert my hook through this bottom here, and then I'm going to attach my yarn, and I'm simply just going to tie it. I wonder if you guys can hear the airplane. Okay, so, oh my gosh, it's getting even louder. Okay, now I'm just going to start slip stitching. So I'm just going to take my hook and pause really quick because this airplane. Okay, so with this excess piece of string here, I'm just going to kind of fold it into the inside, and honestly, it will just kind of hide itself when I start slip stitching. But I'm going to take my hook and insert it into, you know, anything closest to the side, because I don't really call these stitches, but I'm just going to pull it straight through because now I have my loop here. So now I can start slip stitching. So I'm just going to go into this right here, to this little, I guess we can call it a stitch, and then I'll just pull straight through. And I'm going to be doing a slip stitch, so I'm going to go straight through, and that's how I'm closing up my seam. You can do a single crochet if you like, but I just prefer this. So now I'm just going to slip stitch all the way until I reach the other side, and then you don't want to go all the way until the end because before you do that, you have to create your pocket. So I'll show you that once I get there. But now I'm just going to continue my slip stitches. I made my way up slip stitching just a little bit, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like. So is it the most straightest? No, but if you did a single crochet, it probably would be a little bit more straighter, but I kind of just like this, you know, I don't mind it. Is it perfect? No, but do I like it? Yes, I'm satisfied. So I just wanted to show you this side, and as you can see, it closed up this side, and now I'm just going to continue working my way down, and then I'll meet you at the other side. I've made it down the other side of my scarf, and this is where I'm at. So before you continue slip stitching or single crocheting, you want to make sure that you fold this side in so you can make sure you have your pocket, and you want to, have it the exact same size as the other one. So you can just continue slip stitching or single crocheting this, and then after you finish this side, you want to cut this yarn, and then you want to continue attaching it to this side and then closing that up, and then you'll be done with your scarf. I have officially finished closing up the seams of my scarf, and this is what it looks like. I have the pockets all attached, and for this specific scarf I am done. I don't want to add anything else to it, but if you like, the other option you can do is add pom-poms to your scarf. So I don't know the size of this off the top of my head, but if you have the Clover, the duo version, it's the green one, so it's a smaller one, and I just attached 3 little pom-poms here to the end. I think it adds like something extra and cute. As I was saying, it just adds a little bit more to the scarf, so you can add the pom-poms if you like, and all you have to do is just attach it on at the bottom, and then you can work your way in the middle by cutting off the excess piece of yarn. But basically that's about it. So if you guys followed this tutorial and you made it to the end, thank you for watching.